It's been months since I've done anything. Writer's block is only getting worse. Come on, Adam, you gotta do something. Damn Jehovah's Witnesses. What the hell is this? Make any wish in a time of need. It only works once, so choose wisely. That almost rhymes. I guess. Yeah, what the hell. You know what I wish? Wish I could make another damn review already without this fucking writer's block getting in the way. Rowdy, what the hell are you doing here?
I don't know. One moment I'm perfectly happy at Disney World, probably 5 minutes from convincing Rapunzel she can do better than that guy Eugene, and the next moment I'm here!
Get the hell out of here.
What's with the oven mitt? And the Spider-Gwen shrine? And the Titanic poster in the bathroom?
Spider-Gwen is awesome, Titanic is underrated, and I just got this mitt in the mail along with this note.
Only works once and it sent me here? What do they expect, us to review Descendants 2 or something?
Wait, they made a sequel to that crap?
Hey, don't look at me! I've been calling for them to do a Wreck-It Ralph animated series.
Right. Listen, come on, you don't want to review this any more than I actually, want to see it. Maybe you could just go back to hitting on long-haired princesses. Okay, well, it was great of you to stop by. It was really good seeing you, seriously. Hit me up sometime, we'll do a lunch. Okay, here you go, safe drive.
Excuse me? Are you looking at me? Did you wish on that gauntlet? Did you interrupt my vacation? Did you bring me here? And now all of a sudden you're walking out on me? I don't think so. Not right now. We're doing this review, so sit down!
We always gonna reuse that Rob Williams gag when we cross over?
Hey, as long as Disney doesn't know when to quit. That's right, people! TV Trash is taking over FilmMaster Reviews once again! So, as many of you probably know, back in January of 2016, both Adam and myself made videos where we made our views perfectly clear of Disney's latest attempt to pander to the tween crowd, Descendants. This was a movie that was basically someone asking what would the next generation of Disney heroes and villains be like, handing that to a bunch of moody goth teens, and still giving the fanfic they churned out a budget. I've made it known before that I have no problem with the Disney Channel's recent catering to a tween audience because at least Hannah Montana and High School Musical were full of original concepts. But just about everything in this case is a slap in the face to many of Disney's previous creations.
Yes, back in the day I declared this the second worst film of 2015. Mind you, the only reason it was in second place was because I saw Descendants for fucking free. I actually had to pay money to see 50 Shades of Grey, but believe me, it was a tough call. What angered me so much is that it tried to play it out like all the Disney fairy tales were actually real and in the same reality, immediately having none of the fairy tales make any sense anymore. I can buy that a few are connected, but all of them? And in the same time period, to the point where all the kids are attending a high school together and playing with iPhones and modern technology that have no business existing in a fairy tale setting, and featuring villains who died in those supposed real fairy tales that are somehow still alive and all have kids for some reason, yet no spouses to speak of because kids come from eggs in this world? I don't know. It's more of an answer than the movie ever fucking gives you. It wasn't charming, it wasn't fun, it wasn't exciting, it was just a mess.
And it also became the 5th most watched movie in the history of cable television. Which means not only was this thing certain to get a sequel, it had to be blown up into a whole goddamn franchise. This led to books, cartoons, and of course the inevitable movie sequel that came out earlier this year.
Yeah, to quote a great man, Disney was so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
So let's finally not waste any more time and get into Descendants 2.
Watching this movie, wasting time, they're pretty much the same thing, I wager.
Let's give Auradon a taste of evil.
Wicked ways beneath the skin.
Let all who taste it now join in.
Wow! Literally the first couple lines of dialogue in the movie could have been taken in so many different ways. Are you sure this isn't the porn parody?
I think the porn parody would have better effects than this. The movie begins with a 3-minute long bad Broadway musical opening about Mal and her friends spreading evil all over Auradon Prep through bewitched apples. That turns out only to be happening in Mal's head as she's being bombarded by paparazzi.
Yeah, the movie opens with a song, and fair enough, it's a musical. But it doesn't even segue properly. They sing the song ends, and hello paparazzi! What was the point of it? It might have worked in maybe a dream sequence. Maybe we see the paparazzi first, and then she's having a dream about wanting to be wicked again. That would have been fine, but the way it's handled here just feels so random.
So from what I can gather in this opening, Mal is not only dating Prince Edward, but is studying to become an official lady of the court because, being called a Disney princess is like so lame.
And Mal's blonde now because I guess Dove Cameron had it in her contract to show off her real hair in at least the first part of this movie.
But naturally, she's still struggling at having to be all proper and good in this world, right down to still using magic for things like learning everything she has to know about being a princess, because despite this movie having modernized everything, they didn't think of making Cliff's Notes. And this is frowned upon by even Evie.
You remember what I was like before I started using my spellbook? I mean, I was a complete disaster. Well, personally, as your best friend, I strongly believe that this spellbook, it belongs in the museum along with my mirror.
Yeah, I will admit, this does impress me quite a bit to see Evie having built more confidence in herself and trying to show Mal that they should be even less reliant on their old ways. Granted, I still don't know why magic is so forbidden in Auradon, given that it was essential for the good guys in just about every movie, but at least it's trying to show that Evie isn't the wallflower she was in the first movie. Which is why, naturally, this type of character development is pretty much glossed over for the rest of the movie.
But apparently, Edward still wants to shower Mal with gifts, despite the fact that everything is obviously making her feel uncomfortable.
This way. First off. You like it?
Really? A fucking scooter. Yeah, because when I think the daughter of Maleficent, a scooter is the first thing that comes to mind. And where would she drive that thing anyway? They're on a fucking island.
This is an island surrounded by water, big water, ocean water.
It's not like she's going on a road trip with it anytime soon. Come on, this is Disney, and the most inventive gift that a prince can get for his woman is a scooter?
Do driver's licenses even exist in this world? Is there an Auradon DMV or something?
Dude, please, just stop trying to put logic into this movie. Your damn head's gonna explode. So we see Jay is now the captain of the fencing team, where he actually gets his ass handed to him in combat by...
It's Lonnie. You should put me on the team.
No. We'll be the laughing stock of the league. And what's gonna happen next? We'll have girls playing tourney? Come on, guys.
Can you hear me all the way back there in the 1950s? My God, what is this? Women can drive, be royalty, and apparently run the fucking school, but can't be on a fencing team? Where they'd be more than qualified? Jesus, it's like the 2016 Ghostbusters in reverse.
Yeah, where in the pluperfect hell does this make any lick of sense? Need we remind everyone that the previous queen of this land is Belle, who was the freaking standard for establishing that Disney female characters could be more than just damsels needing to be rescued and could be strong individuals in their own right. But no, we gotta shoehorn in this nonsensical sexist crap as a way to, 1, show that Cinderella's son Chad is a jerk, and we'll get more on that later, and 2, show that Jay is willing to defend Mulan's daughter because he has the hots for her. And yeah, the first 15 minutes of this movie is nothing but establishing what all the main characters are doing with their lives right now, along with everyone's hormones going crazy for someone else. Yeah, I know that love is a staple of Disney lore, but trust me, seeing these teens act like they're in a bad parody of a Rachel A. Cook movie from the 90s is going to make you pine for Aurora or Snow White singing about finding their Prince Charming.
How to get out of the friend zone.
Change your name to Ron?
Yeah, Carlos's whole role in this is wanting to get the courage to ask Jane out to the dance. And at least to his credit, he doesn't get Mal to use a love potion on her. Just a truth potion that will make him stop hiding his true feelings or something like that.
Ooh, bad dog.
Man, that thing was nasty. And you? You just gotta man up.
It's not a good thing when the talking dog makes the most sense in this movie.
And yet I'm still disappointed that he's not voiced by Billy Joel.
So 20 minutes in, we finally get back to the Isle of the Lost, where we meet the villains of this movie. Gil, the son of Gaston, Harry, the son of Captain Hook, and our main villain, Uma, who is, you guessed it, the daughter of Ursula.
That little traitor.
Who left us in the dirt?
You turned her back on evil. Who said you weren't big or bad enough to be in her gang.
That's her turf now. And I want it too. We should not be getting our leftovers.
What are you doing?
Just updating my list of villains they haven't bastardized yet. As long as they don't get the Queen of Hearts, Madam Mim, or Gothel, I just might keep my sanity.
What's my name? This is all hands on deck. Calling out to lost boys and girls. I'm getting tired of the disrespect. We won't stop till we rule the world.
Can we get just a clip of Ursula's song from the original movie, which is just a moment, please? Please.
Unfortunate soul, go ahead, make your choice. I'm a very busy woman and I haven't got all day. It won't cost much, just your voice.
What's my name? What's my name? Say it louder. What's my name? What's my name? Feel the power.
You know, if this is an example of how much the Descendants drop off in their musical ability, I don't think I want to know how bad Hannah Montana's kid's gonna sound.
Shut your clown! Mom! These dishes ain't gonna wash themselves!
You know, I expected to lose it upon hearing Whoopi Goldberg was in this movie, but given that she got a paycheck for just one line and didn't even have to show her face on camera, I'm actually impressed she pulled that off. Eventually, Ben discovers that Mal is still using magic, and this drives Mal to up and leave Auradon and go back to the Isle of the Lost. So are we finally going to see what happened to all of those sidekicks that got banished from Auradon for reasons I still can't fathom? Probably just as well, because I don't want to think about what they would have done for the kids of Scuttle, Iago, and Mushu anyway.
Hey, Dizzy. You used to do Evie, right?
Yeah, I thought of little braids.
You have any ideas for me?
And time to give the movie credit again. At least by making this girl's name Dizzy, it makes it clear she's Drizella's daughter, which makes some sense since Anastasia was revealed to be the better of the two ugly stepsisters in the Cinderella sequels, and this movie just made me go to the video sequels for continuity logic! That should be punishable by flogging!
There I am.
Voila!
Voila.
For me?
Yeah.
Mark it over, you run.
Still running errands for Uma, or do you actually get to keep what you steal?
Just wait until Uma hears you're back. She's never gonna give you back your old territory.
Wait a minute! Freeze frame there!
That kid's still got a left hand! You can clearly see him holding on to the whole hook!
What a damn poser!
Is there a hot topic in the neighborhood?
I can hurt you.
Not without her permission, I bet.
Yeah, now finally to get this out of the way. Harry Hook is hands down the most annoying new character in the whole movie. Particularly because he just wrecks everything that made his predecessor enjoyable. What made Captain Hook such a great villain was how his beef with Peter Pan was legit and understandable. Mainly because we never found out what happened that led to Peter cutting off his hand and throwing it to the crocodile. All of that was why it was such a great idea to reverse the roles and make Hook a good guy in Once Upon a Time, a show that both of us have already stated has been a much better example of how to modernize and deconstruct Disney stories, the last couple of seasons notwithstanding.
Yeah, and this kid, it's so clear he's a wannabe who acts like his daddy's life was all fun and games. Now, if there's anyone else close to as annoying as Harry, it would be Cinderella's son Chad, because I guess they still needed one example that the good guys weren't all so good.
So if something were to happen, you know what I'm saying.
Something bad, we get it.
God forbid. But if something were to happen, who do you think would be in line to be king?
Not that it matters, because he's even more superfluous to the story than Sleeping Beauty's daughter was in the first.
Audrey? Yeah. Yeah, she got a flat tire in Sherwood Forest, and she wants me to go fix it.
That's 6 hours away.
Really? Only 6? I'm gonna be there faster than I thought.
Well, apparently since they couldn't get Aurora's daughter back for the second movie, they had to throw someone else in here to be the brat of Auradon Prep. Seriously, how did the children of two of the sweetest Disney princesses out there turn out to be such pricks?
And if I may go off on a tangent about Chad, wouldn't it have made more sense, given his personality, to make him Gaston's son?
Good point. In fact, the more I look at Gil, the more I figured he'd fit in more as the son of Kronk. But I guess Kronk's movie didn't do well enough to merit getting mentioned in this. The one silver lining of that cloud. Eventually, Ben discovers where Mal went and vows to go and get her back, so he and the others have to swipe a car and drive across the magic bridge to the aisle.
Which is every bit as stupid as it was in the first.
Where, after one useless speech from Mal to Ben and Evie about why she can't go back, leads to Ben getting kidnapped so Uma can force Mal to face her. Oh, I get it now! They're reversing the roles so the prince has to be rescued in this one. Yeah, just add one more element that Enchanted did about 1,000 times better.
I'm so flattered that you dream of me. I haven't given you a thought since I left.
You have your perfect little life, don't you?
Okay, I will give the movie this much. The idea of having Mal and Uma be rivals is a pretty nice touch. I mean, I've already gone on record in saying that I think Maleficent is the greatest Disney villain of all time, but if there's anyone that can even measure up to her, it's Ursula. And given that villains historically are at odds with one another over territory, it would make sense that these two would butt heads.
Which is why when they finally meet again here, they take out their frustrations in an arm wrestling match.
If I win, you bring me the wine.
You got any more of that liquid IQ left, man?
All gone. You got any rum?
Rum's gone too.
Why is the rum always gone?
I want Beastie Boy back. Bring me Fairy Godmother's magic wand to my ship tomorrow at 12 noon.
Yep, everyone wants that wand again. Why didn't they try something different, like Mickey's magic hat?
Are you kidding? That mouse has so much clout, he'd never allow any of his stuff into this pile of crap.
I said at noon.
20 more minutes.
He has a clock on him! Does this kid have any damn clue what his father went through in his life?
Evidently not, but I will admit this leads to an admittedly impressive fight scene. They even get it right in not only having Mal bow Uma, but Jace fighting Harry and Ben fighting Gil.
Let's go! Let's go! Now! Go! Come on!
I'll give this movie credit one last time. That was an amazing climax. It's probably the best way to finish off this movie and give Mal some closure in her life.
There's 30 minutes left.
Bibbidi bobbidi bullcrap! Yes, it turns out Mal left her spell book on the aisle, which of course Uma finds. So to try and wrap this up before I go so mad I'm wearing a top hat and having tea with a hair, Uma casts a love spell on Ben and shows up with him at the dance to take Mal's place. And Ben doesn't just resist the love spell like he did last time because...
Come here, unveil the gift. They need to see it. Ben? Ben.
You're going to love me!
You pitiful, insignificant fool!
Now shall you deal with me and all the powers of hell!
Yup. This has now turned into an episode of Death Battle.
No! It's got to stop! This isn't the answer! The fighting has got to stop! Nobody wins this way!
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
I know you want what is best for the Isle. Help me make a difference.
God damn it, now I want to send a copy of this clip to the UN.
I did not know that I could do that. Tell me about it. That makes two of us.
But don't expect me to have it turn into an old hag anytime soon. So the whole thing ends with every guy getting the girl they wanted and Ben vowing to admit more children from the Isle into Auradon like he meant to from the very beginning. And naturally, we finish with one more lame-ass song on a lame-ass set.
What? You didn't think this was the end of the story, did you?
If there's any damn justice, yes!
Descendants 2 is surprisingly leaps and bounds more tolerable than the first film. Not to say it's actually really good, but the film gives a lot more attention to its main characters, making them less stock and more relatable. It still bothers me to no end that it's pandering to its audience, but that's what the first film did, so this film kinda had to follow suit on that. It is a sequel after all. You know how a lot of people hate the beginning of The Dark Knight Rises because, oh, well, he just lived in a mansion for 7 years and did nothing. People don't realize The Dark Knight kind of wrote them into that corner. And yeah, I kind of feel the same way about this sequel. While the first film still remains the absolute worst Disney film I've ever seen, its sequel is just kind of a simple meh. There's more focus on the story and even a cool sequence here and there, and I still hate the modern technology and how a place like this should never exist, but unlike the first film, which did nothing but pander, this one at least tried to be something more, and I have to give credit where credit's due. Can't say it's good, but it's not too terrible.
The movie did have some saving graces. Having few to no butchered versions of the actual Disney characters in this one made it slightly more tolerable. There were some decent action scenes, and every so often it looked like there might be some character development. I agree with my colleague in that it's better than the first, but as he said about Bay Turtles 2, just because it's better doesn't make it good. They put more effort into this one to be sure, but it's still a story that belongs on a fan forum someplace and not actually part of Disney's library. The better news is there very well may not be a third movie because Dove Cameron is rumored to be leaving Disney to take the lead role in the Sabrina the Teenage Witch spin-off of the CW's Riverdale. But as for me, I think I'm gonna need a marathon Star vs. the Forces of Evil and the new DuckTales to be reminded that Disney still makes good stuff nowadays. So did that help you any?
I guess.
Hey, look at it this way. This is pretty much what we do. The sleepless nights of writing, editing, bitching about the worst movies and shows out there because you yourself have no life to speak of. Yeah, this is probably why I'm not a motivational speaker. As for me, I'm still stuck here because Jeannie isn't linking me back home for another 3 hours, so Netflix and no chill, that we can do.
Oh look! Netflix made a Death Note movie.
Oh God! Thank you, Rowdy. That was just the motivation I needed.
Don't mention that.
Aren't you good for incentive?